Why, hello there, happy people. It's me, Coy, and with me, Drake Tempest. How you doing?
Hoi! I'm doing alright.
We have Daily Race today, Standard, Assured Sword, and oh boy, what a lineup. Ravis, Mikan, Edium, and Pink Kitty Rose. Those are big names. Expecting a very fantastic race out of these guys today.
Should be pretty good.
This is a standard assured seed, so we will go through the escape at the beginning of the game, and everyone will have a sword. You can see it already in their item screen at the moment. The uncle will not give us a randomized weapon, but will instead just be a regular item location, which could be a weapon, I suppose.
Yeah, you just have to shuffle the items real quick. It'll be fine. He'll make sure we get Ganon. I mean, what? I mean, Ganon Tower boots.
Just 20 rupees in Link's house, and we get a map check early from Mikan with green pendant Hera and regular pendant Desert.
Well, should be interesting. Means a lot of the crystals are in Dark World, doesn't it?
Yeah, 2 pendants in the Light World means typically longer seed than normal.
Yeah, but
fastest seeds are ones with like the midst dungeons or the pendants.
I want to say that it's probably going to be the more fun dungeons.
Yeah, and then it's rando anyway, so it's not like we always get to skip every pendant.
Yeah.
So the cards are in a price pack that does have a bomb in it, one single bomb on the 5th kill, I believe. But we just find 3 bombs in the chest, so who cares? Having that extra bomb would not be bad, though, so you could have 3 going into Kakariko.
So, are you feeling a pedestal seed?
Wow, it's like way too early to tell, dude.
Yeah, it's fun to speculate early on.
Sure. I mean, like, early, like, the Desert and Hera are typically easier to get to than most other dungeons, so the odds of a pedestal seed are probably higher than if it was, like, TR and Meyer. But, you know, it's we're like a minute and a half into the game. Let's leave it, give it a second.
What about Aga?
See, now that's a more relevant concern because we did start with a sword. Sword being one of the required items to do Aga. So, considering the way the game shuffles the items, I'd say it is actually more likely this is an Aga seed than if it was an assured sword. But probably not a very significant chance more.
So, at this point, we're kind of hoping Princess Zelda has something good. Because so far, the escape has been kind of dry.
Yeah, it's not really a huge concern for our runners, though, considering like they all have to do this. It's a lot different in Standard versus like if I came to the front of Escape instead of going to Eastern and I found nothing here, and somebody else gets to skip it entirely. Oh, PKR coming into a little trouble there.
Hey, we did get something interesting. That's a nice bow.
Yeah, bow's a very nice item to find early. Too bad. Oh no, wait, Eastern was the crystal. Hey, that's fantastic.
That's excellent. Well, we know where they're going after Kakariko. If nobody pulls a fast one and goes there straight after Castle.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't be crazy to go straight to Eastern. It's like there's very few items that are going to make your Eastern dive any faster. The lamp would be a nice help. Just boots in general would be nice, but for the most part, it's going to be the same now as it would be later.
Actually, what would be really nice is a hook shot.
Yeah, I get to skip a couple screen transitions. But that's not significant enough that anyone's going to put off Eastern because they don't have the hook shot yet, though.
Yeah.
Everyone gets through the front of the escape relatively unscathed. There were some tense moments on the ball and chain guard, but nobody died.
Yeah, I think that's part of what I like about open mode more than standard, because I like being able to death warp there.
Yeah, it does save like a fair bit of time to having to death warp versus walking back. Unfortunately, with standard, we don't have that option.
Yeah.
Death warping just puts you right back at Zelda Cell. Ravis with the very early lead. Not that it really matters that much.
Not this early. A lot of things can still happen.
It's fetch quest there in the Dark Cross chest. That should be relatively easy to route in. Mikian actually getting the bomb from the prize pack, the guard prize pack we were talking about earlier. So coming out of the escape, he should have 3 bombs instead of 2. Which probably won't be impactful, but it absolutely can be. Ravis giving us our first look at these chests, where we find the map, a Quake medallion, and the Master Sword. So about that Agaseed.
Yeah, about that Agassi.
It's a little more likely. Oh wow, the rats are actually in the bomb prize pack. Ravis killing a few extra to make sure to get that 4 drop.
I'm gonna say hook shot on Agaledge.
And Mikan doing the same thing there. Once he saw that the first bomb drop, he knew every single rat was going to drop a bomb, and he went crazy killing them. PKR doing the same thing, but a little too late. Not enough rats to kill to get that 4 bombs.
It's honestly really good to front them because I've had a lot of seeds where I ran out of bombs, and I just had to go buy some at the shop, and it's just such a terrible feeling.
Yeah, there is a good chance we're just going to find some bombs in the Chex and Kakariko to alleviate that, but definitely not guaranteed. So PKR doing the Eastern play, looks like, immediately saving quit from the Sanctuary, going straight over to the Eastern area. Looks like maybe to check this island first.
That's heart piece. No one's going to grab that.
She could opt to Splash Delete if she had arrows. Unfortunately, no arrow drops just yet. Edium is...
Did we see what the ledge was?
He just wants more bombs. Oh, we saw the island. I Lumberjack. I have no idea.
Yeah, he dipped into it, but I couldn't see.
Yeah, looked. I didn't look. Somebody in chat will know. It was Big 20 on Lumberjack.
Ooh. Oh, there goes Aga.
Well, there goes Lumberjack. It can still be Aga.
Yeah, that's true. That's an ice rod, right?
Sometimes it's hard to tell on our screen.
Back to Sahasrara paying off with the ice rod, and
Character put an ice rod, so it's ice rod.
And then Turtle Rock isn't required.
I don't think the ice rod's probably not going to trip anybody up though with this very early bow and Easter being
absolutely not. That's not going to be the item anyone's searching for. There's some arrows finally. There's Zora money.
So the main concern with doing Eastern this early, like PKR, is that this will be the reason why nobody else is doing it, is while it's not like very difficult, especially since you have sword and everything, but if things do go wrong on 3 Hearts Green Mill, you don't have much room for error.
No.
If something goes wrong just a little bit too hard, you're losing several minutes from dying in Eastern. Running silvers in Eastern. Wonderful seed. No one's going to skip those either.
That means a super fast Eastern.
Yeah, definitely save some time on the boss fight.
And there's a hammer. The seed's making me suspicious, man. It's not going to be any fun things.
Well, we got our Hammer Moon Pearl. Still looking for a glove for Darkwold access, but a lamp would also do it. the thing is, I don't think anyone's going to make that a very early Aga play, even if we do find the lamp when we're only one item from not killing Aga. PKR showing us the sword beam strat for the Stalfos room there. Very quick way to do that. And I believe we're at 2 items, and that's 3 items, right? No, it must be 2. Okay. I must be misremembering. She wouldn't go to this other chest if she was third. I remember the silvers, and then we just got bombs. Maybe it was a map or compass in the second chest.
Maybe.
Ravis finishes up Kakariko, headed to the library. Just see some rupees there on the ledge. Don't gotta worry about that. We're fine on rupees.
Oh yeah, this is easy Zora check. Maybe early Zora.
More rupees on race game. Not gonna worry about those either. And Ravis saving quits, probably for an Eastern play. But South Shore is also a pretty nice place to go at the moment. Glove in Eastern, behind the lamp.
That is a nice find. So, we got a pretty loaded seed.
Yeah, very early Dark World access, considering just CAC in Eastern. And Eastern, of course, being a very easy play for most of our runners to make because of the early bow. But where is this lamp that puts everything in logic?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure all of our runners are very well versed in how to do these dark rooms. You're still going to need a fire source at some point, so skipping out on the fire source that you know you've skipped at this point seems a little risky.
Well, they don't know where it is yet, do they?
No, but they know it's going to be before Dark World access. When they all get the glove and they realize, hey, that was lamp locked. You know that really narrows down on like where the lamp could be.
Yeah.
We was checking out Mini Moldarm Cave here, putting that gold bee to use. Get her done. And PKR begins her Armos fight.
There's the lamp.
There's the lamp. Very, very easy Light World.
Yeah, and there's the other glove.
Oh my! Mitts and Hammer available before Dark World access. It's very interesting.
Is this a jet seed?
It's a little early to tell that. We're still missing like 15 things for go mode. But very possibly. I think more likely to happen in this situation is that too much of the game is open and it stops feeling like a jet seed because you just picked like the wrong dungeon to go to first.
Yeah. A flute would be really nice.
PKR heads to South Shore before Kakariko still,
hey.
where she will find Mitts.
This also opens up Death Mountain.
Yep, Death Mountain is available, although without the mirror or the hookshot, we can't get very far. Mikan actually taking a death, despite having a lucky rupee count. Ravis doing fake flipper, it looks like. He has enough rupees, he can do everything, and even has the bow for Splash Elite to get Zora's Ledge. Still, it's a little of an unusual play, though, from Ravis here, because he does currently have Dark World access and a Crystal Dungeon he can go do. So going out of your way for some out-of-logic check seems unnecessary. But, it could absolutely turn into something.
I don't think it's necessarily a complete out-of-logic check. Like, the Wishing Well is, but they'd have to go to Zora eventually to do that check.
Yeah, just there's other opportunities to come here that might have been more efficient. Like, say, if he had mirror flippers when he was checking catfish.
Yeah.
And generally, you know, like, going to the crystal dungeons is the safest play because everybody has to do those, and you have to do those.
Just throwing out the golden bee.
It's funny seeing these very high caliber runners picking up pieces of hearts, but this game has been very light on hearts so far. Do not blame them. So interesting routing from PKR goes to Mini Moldorm Cave and then back west to the dam and then on to Kakariko from there.
That is terrible, Zora. And
yeah.
he's not doing the splash glitch.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything on the ledge, was there?
I didn't see.
But this route from PKR, it a little bit orphans Ice Rock Cave and Agina, but there are other opportunities to get those later. Mikan and Edium headed through Eastern Palace at the moment. Mikan already getting that glove from South Shore, so he does have Dark World access, but he will find the mitts in here, assuming he doesn't try to skip Vanilla Big Key, which honestly isn't that crazy of a play.
Yeah, but that would seriously set him back.
Yeah, it would not be a good situation to be in, but it's a very common location to try and skip, and with McCann already having access to all of the Dark World, it would make sense for him to try to do it here. I gave a big goose egg there for Ravis. I imagine he'll try to go to Pod next, which is a very dense location with lots of in-logic checks.
Have we seen the map yet?
I think we might have seen it. I'm not sure. It looked like ice was appended. I'm not sure where the reds were.
Well, if ice is appended, we might see a full clear of Pod. Actually, there's no reason not to.
Yeah, this early in the game, like you're missing everything. So, like, you typically only try and skip things that are super, super slow. Edium gets his gloves from Eastern. That makes his Dark World access. Mitts when he goes to South Shore. And Mikan is not skipping Vanilla Big Key. Very good news. We'll find the mitts.
That's really good. He probably has his item count.
Meanwhile, PKR finds her hammer and the Moon Pearl Dark World access all around.
Yep. So the other good check is Thieves Town when you go into Dark World access. Do you think anyone's going to go there instead of Pod?
I think Pod's the better play because Thieves Town, while Thieves Town is full clearable and it's a crystal and everything, that's all well and good, but the checks around Thieves Town benefit from having other items, especially the mirror in this situation. So, like, if you go to Thieves Town, then you have to choose, like, oh, am I picking up the Smith and then walking him back, or am I just skipping him entirely? Where if we just wait until we have the mirror, like, it becomes a lot easier to make that decision. Whereas for Pod's Pod, and it's going to continue being Pod, and nothing about Pod is going to change.
Has Ravis not picked up the Ice Rod?
No, Ravis hasn't been to Eastern yet.
Oh, right.
I imagine he's doing Pod first, because he got Dark World access before Eastern, going to Kak and then South Shore. So I'm imagining he's going to Pod first, hoping to find the mirror here, and then he can just mirror over to Eastern for a little bit more efficiency. But if not, then he doesn't really lose anything. He just goes to Eastern right after.
Yeah.
He gets punished a little bit because the silvers are in Eastern. Like the silvers would have been nice to have for pod for an easier helm off fight and a little bit faster mimic rooms. But on the whole, it's not a huge deal.
Taking the Thievestown route with Skull Woods.
Yeah, this is a very thorough play, I would say. Like you have Crystal Dungeons to go full clear and instead go into Skull Woods, which some players will like to skip until they find a Fire Rod. But PKR is one of the highest execution players who still play this game. It makes a lot of sense for her to favor a more thorough route because she can make up for it with superior execution.
And being a high execution player has probably been bitten by doing any gambles.
Looks like Edium is going to make the same play though, although he does not have those myths yet.
Myths aren't really super important until you're going to Death Mountain, though.
Yeah, just by virtue of it being something that you have to finish the game. So,
yeah.
When you're missing so many items that you need to have everywhere you go, it makes sense to be a little more thorough.
That's having a little trouble with the statue.
Yeah, I didn't pull it down quite far enough the first time.
Alright, Meekin's making the pod play.
It's just like routing philosophy. Like if you have like 200 locations to check for 2 things, you feel a lot more comfortable skipping slower checks or less required checks. Where if we only have 100 locations, 50.
I don't know what went on there.
I don't know, what did he do?
He didn't. Like, he just got grabbed by a wall master.
After getting the pot key?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the fastest way back to the front.
I figure the death in that room would be faster.
Wall master's pretty quick. And it times out pretty nicely, where he always seems to drop right after picking up the pot key. Looks like nothing too valuable there in the front of Skullwoods. PKR heading on to Village of Outcasts and Thievestown.
Ravis having a small bit of trouble.
Yeah, he seems to have made a small mistake here. So the reason you want to hammer jump into this room in this situation is because you don't have the mirror. So if you hammer jump, then doing it backwards means you don't have to death warp out. Unfortunately, you have to have a small key to walk out, and he did not realize that at the time, that he was missing a small key.
On the plus side, that does make the rest of those checks pretty free.
Yeah. Also, unfortunately, because of the way the keys lined up, he has not opened the center door yet. So now he has to go back down the bow side just to get to the middle again.
It's pretty unfortunate, but not the biggest problem. He is having a bit of issue shooting things, though.
He's in a little bit of a snarky spot here, down to 1 heart.
It's super awkward. Although, if he really wants the safety, there are fairies in that room to the right.
Hearts up here, if he one of them would be a little bit more safe, but he goes for neither, instead opting to just continue. Nice heart drop there if he can get to it. He's not going to get to it.
That is super unfortunate.
Look at that game knowledge. He knew there was a heart in that pot. So what did he do? He like forgot to do the rupee basement or something?
Yeah, he forgot to do the rupee basement.
Very
hammer jump before he did that.
Like, Ravis is a very strong player, but even strong players can make little mental errors like that.
Even the best of us can derp a little bit.
We did find the mirror in Thievestown here from PKR. That's that item that we wanted to have before going to the Village of Outcasts area. which we
So would you
find
say
in the
that
Village of Outcasts
Thieves
area.
Town was probably a better call?
No.
No?
No, I mean, like you can't hindsight stuff like that, you know? Like, PKR didn't know the mirror was here.
Well, no, but each seed is different, and while routing is essentially the same across seeds, like, taking these gambles can make or break a run or a race.
Sure, it's not gonna matter in this situation. Like, you wanted the mirror before doing Pot and Eastern, but PKR already did Eastern, so the mirror isn't beneficial there. And then everybody else wants the mirror before doing Village, but they're gonna find it in the Village anyway, so like, it ends up not mattering. Now, the real God Vision play would be to do Thieves Town and then go to Pod, mirror to Eastern, and then go back to Thieves. And that wouldn't work out either because then you wouldn't have mitts.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do
just the way it goes sometimes. Is making his way to Helmosaur. Eddie and picking up his mirror in the front of Thieves. PKR finds the maiden. And we'll go on to kill her ruthlessly. But not before checking this big chest.
I mean, if you have the hammer, why not? It's certainly faster than coming back here after you kill blind.
Yeah, I think most players who are put in a situation where they're forced to skip that big chest resign to never go back to it. So very nice that we have the hammer before Dark World access, so nobody had to be put in that situation.
Yeah, it's super awkward to orphan that hammer right there.
This is a very rough fight here for Ravus. The big chest, yeah.
Yeah.
Ravus takes down Helmosaur very cleanly. Luckily, no fire attacks in the last phase, so this can be very difficult to avoid taking damage. And we get a fetch quest. Fun.
And Pink Kitty Rose just kills blind.
Yeah, misses her blind script in the last phase, but plenty of hearts to just power her way through it. Blind, it goes down like a chump, making PKR the champ.
And Meekin and Edium aren't going to be too far behind the other two runners on clearing those dungeons. So Ravus is going for the mitts finally.
You say that, and then he's fate flipping to turn in the mushroom. So yeah, Pod ended up being pretty much empty. We do got this mushroom, which Ravus will tell if it leads to anything. But you know, like you were saying, like, well, is Thieves Town the better player or anything? And I disagreed. Even Pod being empty, I still think Pod was the better play in this situation because everyone's going to full clear Pod. Like, there is no chance that PKR is going to go mode it because she went to Thieves Town first. Pod is just too many items, too in logic, too convenient.
Let's see what that mushroom gets you.
3 whole bombs.
Oh, man. And just resetting, not even bothering. I guess that saves the mushroom, doesn't it? So now he can do the fake powder.
Yeah, he'll need the Canis Mari to do that, but it will remain an option for him moving forward. So PKR with the mirror from Thieves Town will be able to do the Smith sequence here. Ravus, go to Eastern. Why are you not going to Eastern? Oh my god.
He doesn't want to do dungeons.
Meekin takes down Helmosaur, no problem. Silver arrows are awesome.
Edium
and Edium decides if his blind fight.
On blind again. He is not having a great time at it.
Oh, very unfortunate death there. Does he still have the fairy? He does not.
Why is Meekin back in pod?
He probably just killed the boss early. And didn't get the items from the back.
Fair.
It's a play you see sometimes. Typically, you don't do it when you only have one key. Like, you would only do it if you had 2 keys, so you can just go back through the center instead of having to go down this bow side a second time. The thing is, like, even if Helmasaur dropped, like, the fire rod, it's like, awesome item, woo! Like, you'd still want to come back in, because there's just too much stuff in the back. Oh, it looks like he did the back and not the front.
Oh. Okay.
There's probably like one more item in the dungeon, and it was like either map or compass, also missing, and he was hoping the item was on Helmasaur instead of in the front. Flippers in K45 for Pink Kitty Rose.
Excellent.
Yeah, it gives us access to. Yeah, we can do left side swamp. I don't see her doing that at this time, but maybe. But it also opens up the flipper checks logically, which we saw earlier were nothing. Although I don't think we got a hobo check, which would also be locked by those flippers.
We have not gotten a hobo check, but flippers also puts Ice Palace in. Well, no, I'm wrong. Never mind.
Yeah, we're pretty close to Ice Palace access, just Fire Rod or Bombos away. But with it, even if they have the Fire Rod, I don't see her going into Ice Palace right now. It's a pendant and.
Oh, right, yeah. What we need is Hook Shot. Hook Shot would open up a lot.
So Edium skipping out on doing South Shore early has punished him a little bit. He's missing out on the Smith sequence that PKR is doing. I don't think she found anything from the Smith sequence, but doing it when she did it will be faster than doing it anytime Edium's going to do it.
Got a sword.
That's
Vanilla?
It's a nice find.
I think. I wasn't watching when they did the sequence.
Best case scenario for Edium is that he just finds a sword somewhere else and gets to skip out on the Smith sequence entirely.
Ooh, Pink Kitty Rose is going to Swamp. And honestly, I think this makes the most sense. Because, while you could go do Pod, Pink Kitty's already done Thieves Town, and this is just kind of in the route to Pod.
No, this makes no sense. I disagree entirely.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Like it can lead to progression. I'm not saying it can't lead. It's not like the worst thing anybody could ever do or anything. But
I mean,
like when it comes to like efficient plays, this is the worst. This is not good.
Not if you're doing a more thorough run, like going to Swamp Thieves Town. There's the hook shot.
Wow, that's actually ridiculous. Like she could have full cleared Pod. Why would you go into Swamp?
Because Swamp is also an item dense dungeon, and
no, it's not though. That's the thing. It's only item dense when you can do all of it. It's very likely that half of the items are just in the back, and you're doing these very, 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 very slow checks for like 1 or 2 items. It's a very dangerous play to make, but it's getting rewarded huge here with the hook shot there. Everyone else is going to wait forever before making this play.
You sound really bad about that.
No, I'm not mad about it.
Baffled? Baffled's probably a better word. You think we're going to see left side?
If there's progression there, yeah.
And Edium also making the swamp play, getting their hook shot. They haven't even been to Thieves Town yet.
No, he went to Thieves Town. It's just not marked on the tracker.
Oh. Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, I have the memory of a goldfish.
He should also have the lamp.
Did he kill Blind? Because he died.
Oh yeah, he might have skipped out on the blind kill. Maybe that's why it's not marked.
Maybe he just doesn't feel comfortable. Didn't feel comfortable doing blind with so few hearts. Meanwhile, Ravis going in with also 4 hearts. I wonder if they have the fairy still though. It's flute in the back of swamp. That's hilarious. So Kitty is going straight up to Argus with a tempered sword. This is not going to take long. Right. Ravis did release the fairy and pod to Death Warp.
AKR goes for the Silver's kill. Very quick shot. Argus goes down.
And I think that means there's still items in Swamp.
Yeah, I think 2.
We'll see in a minute if Kitty decides to come back in. Yep.
I mean, this is her MO. This is her MO to be very, very, very thorough.
It's looking like it's paying off pretty big.
It's just typically she's known for being efficiently thorough, and going into Swamp without the hook shot was a very atypical play.
I think that's all the swords. Ravis found the last one, I think.
Yeah, that'll clean up the sword hunt.
Because I seriously don't think Pink Kitty Rose checked Graveyard Ledge. And Ravis still avoiding Eastern. Instead, going to Death Mountain.
Yeah, I can't really wrap my head around why Ravis has been avoiding Eastern this whole time.
I think they're checking Aghanim Ledge.
Yeah, he's probably going to the mountain after, though.
Edium wrapping up Argus. I think the most fun item to find right now would probably be Fire Rod. Or maybe the Cane. Because that would then unlock Swamp completely. Not Swamp. Mire. Oh! We have Bombos, so that's our Ice Palace unlock. Which, if I'm following Kitty Rose's route, that she might just head there next. No, I'm dumb. It's still pendant. That hasn't changed. Don't mind me. I'm slow on the uptick sometimes.
Just checking this last chest in Swamp for just a piece of heart. Yeah, Bombos could also be required to get into either Mire or Turtle Rock.
That's true.
And Edium did choose to skip out on left side, so that could come back to bite him. Because the last place you want to go after you've already been there once is Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I think you'd probably check everywhere else first. Edium, meanwhile, is okay.
He was just checking the ledge real quick before heading into the Mire area, where we'll get the first look at the pendant required, or the medallion required from Misery Mire.
And no basement in Hera. At least not yet.
Alright, just Quake for Mire. Bombo's not required there.
That's pretty good. Every runner has that open pretty easily. This is just a fascinating play by Ravis.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at some point we have to start thinking that maybe he thinks Eastern's a pendant. Like maybe he mismarked it on his tracker. Maybe. But like going up the mountain without anything, and then with Hera also being a pendant, like I don't know, maybe he's thinking green pendant into Eastern. That could be a thing, I guess.
So I hope I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Moldrum either has the key or the item, and it's probably going to be the key. And that's the knockoff. Red Meringue on the pyramid. That's not a terrible pickup.
And there goes Green Pendant Moldorm. Ravis rewarded with his small key. Awesome.
Into the basement he goes, because I'm pretty sure the other two weren't items. I am a terrible commentator. Forgot to mute my phone.
Push to talk, dude. It's your best friend.
It can be.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Ravis must be feeling very super committed to this not going to Eastern play. Like typically,
what if he's committed to a pedestal check? What if that's the thing?
Well, he doesn't even have access to the other two pendants, so I don't think he's thinking about Ped too much right now.
I think we're getting... Did anyone check Hype Cave? Or not Hype Cave, Paradox?
He's going to mirror over to it from the Dark World.
Okay.
Just a little bit of efficiency. Because now instead of having to re-enter the Dark World after, he can go up, do Spiral, and then just hop into the portal that he just left behind.
Big 20 in there.
BKR finishes her flipper checks, doesn't get anything of note.
That's a Fire Rod in Paradox.
Probably going to activate Flute next. Yeah, Fire Rod's a nice find. We can go finish up Skull Woods now. Ice Palace is suddenly doable for Edium.
Now here's hoping we get a check on Turtle Rock to see what the pendant is. Not pendant. Medallion. Words are hard, yo.
Is Edium skipping Spiral? Looks like it.
He's probably gonna mirror Spiral.
Well, if he does that, then he's skipping Spike. Which may be his prerogative. Each medallion is 20K.
I'm so confused where Pink Kitty Rose is going. Did they not check the forest?
No, I believe when she found Dark World access in Kakariko, she just immediately entered the Dark World, which is probably the biggest factor in why she did Thieves Town before Pod, was just she was standing right there next to the portal.
So we've got a double Quake run, and there's the Canis Amaria. Edium could go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, full through Turtle Rock. I think that's go mode, right? Or no mode, rather.
Potentially.
Yeah, just boots or question mark for GT Echoes.
But we do now know that everyone's going to find all the items pretty reliably.
Except for the hook shot.
Looks like Ravis was not happy with Salasrala.
Alright, Rave is finally going to Eastern, where he will end up finding Mitts, unlocking the game for him.
Edium chose not to do Turtle Rock. Probably a good call, because then you can do Turtle Rock and go straight to Ganon. So he's heading to Thieves Town, where he'll get his... He's probably going to finish Thieves Town off.
Yeah, he'll do Skullwoods and Thieves, and then Pot and Mire, and then go to TR and GT. He is in essentially go mode.
He is in go mode.
Yeah, but when I said it earlier, you were like, the boots, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll modify it every time. For the most part, we just assume that boots are required, and then if it's surprise boots are required, then oh well.
Again, memory of a goldfish. I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast.
So Edium's play into Swamp ends up being huge. Getting the hook shot. PKR making the same play, but again going back for left side with her very thorough routing. But you can see like Ravis and Mikan are what's the word?
They're going on a journey.
They are poster boys for why that is such a huge play for Edium and PKR. They will put off going into Swamp as long as they possibly can.
Well, because they also don't have flippers.
Yeah, but even when they find flippers, it's not going to be like, oh, obviously, go straight into Swamp and up the hook shot. Like it's a
with an easy clear.
Yeah, he got that refight down pat.
Well, last time he came in here with 4 hearts. If you go off script, it's not a fun fight.
Sometimes you just gotta bet on your own execution, right?
There's a reason why every time I run one of these races, I do... Huh?
Ravis is skipping the middle of Victory Chest.
Oh no.
Oh my god!
Oh no! Ravis, please.
I thought he for sure wouldn't do it because he did so much of the game before coming over here.
Please.
Maybe he'll go back in afterwards. It'll be a time loss still, but better than coming back here later.
He's probably hoping the last item's on Armos Knights.
Yeah, I mean that's the gamble. Playing it real fast and loose.
That has not worked out for him. Edium is making his way into Deep Skullwoods, going for Mothula. Not even playing with these Gyptos.
If I remember right, the big key in pod was in the front, so it should
nope.
it should mean a faster.
Right
That was in the back. Oh darn.
I like how a lot of runners, no matter how much money they have, they still like to pick up these rupees.
Yeah, rupee lag is a thing that exists, but it doesn't matter.
Ravis, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be
so he's
a bad day for Ravis.
Orphaned the Titansmiths.
Yeah, so he gets the flippers here, and that play into Swamp looks a lot more appealing for Ravis than it did for anybody else, because of how much of the game he's already done. No, he can't, because he doesn't have the mitts from Easter.
Oh, yeah. It's awkward. I suspect Edium might find...
What, Temper?
No, one of the sword upgrades.
Yeah, Temper. He's not going to find Temper.
Okay.
Like, it's what was Smith Sequence and Graveyard Ledge, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, he's in go mode. There's no way he's doing those checks. But I also thought PKR wouldn't go into Swamp, so what do I do?
Welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer, where the routes don't matter.
Yeah, I'm really not worried about Edium. Like, he loses a little bit of time from having Master Sword instead of Tempered. But he should save a bunch of time from getting to skip so many checks, like left side Swamp and the Smith Sequence and the North checks.
Yeah.
Him dying or something isn't a real concern. Like, I feel like his death to Blind earlier was very much an outlier. It was something you definitely did not expect to happen to a runner of his caliber.
Yeah, but again,
hard.
I think the script just went off for him.
Yeah, he just made a mistake. So. So Ravis with his flippers is going into Swamp, and like I said before, this play makes way more sense for Ravis than it did for Edium and PKR, because Ravis has done pretty much everything he can. This is one of the few things he has left. PKR getting the single hammer strat, that's awesome.
That is.
It's really tight. It doesn't save like a ton of time or anything, but it is really tight to do that. Ravis is gonna feel like a champ. You find the hookshot in Swamp, you feel like you're on top of the world.
Yep.
It will be very fleeting for Ravis, unfortunately.
Yeah. Although, once he realizes what he's missing, I don't think it's gonna take him too long to check Green Pendant. Not Green Pendant, the
Yeah, I'm not too worried about him like forgetting that he left an item there or anything, but Like, if he has to go back to Eastern, like, he knows he's super behind at that point.
What if he thinks he got all the items?
Oh, then he's gonna forfeit. I mean, it's unfortunate, but sometimes that happens to players. It's happened to me like 100 different times, where I can't finish the seed because I don't know what I skipped.
I usually forfeit at 2 hours if it's not going super well.
I don't expect any forfeits from our runners today. Forfeits when you're on the restream are pretty uncommon, but they do happen.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to forfeit, though, it's going to be Ravis, because this is very unfortunate what's happening in this seed.
I want to see Edium is definitively ahead right now.
Yeah, I think without question. PKR definitely has a chance to come back and take it from him. She does have that sword advantage.
Yeah, but unfortunately she's still missing Skull Woods. Not a long dungeon to clear, certainly, but it is an advantage Edium has.
Well, yeah, like she's behind in dungeons, but she's gonna find her go mode items up here on the mountain. I think whether or not she has a chance of taking it from Edium may come down to if she chooses to do Hera before getting go mode. Maybe. Like Hera's not like a really slow dungeon or anything, but it's a significant time sink when we're this close.
I'm hoping Pink Kitty throws hook shots across the bridge, and then yeah, it looks like that's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, this definitely made the most sense. It was just a possibility that she does Hera first. Edium gets his big key, headed to Helmasaur King.
Just wasted no time. And Ravis is going to be taking on Argus. I don't remember the boss names, but I keep forgetting the dungeon they're in.
I don't know, it's just a repetition kind of thing. I can name every boss in order of Molten Core. Haven't played that game in forever. I'm just chock full of completely useless knowledge as soon as I meet somebody who doesn't play video games.
I feel that so bad. None of my coworkers game nearly as much as I do. So I'm just over here. I can spreadsheet exactly what I need to craft anything in Final Fantasy 14. But they want to talk about football or something, and I'm just like,
I know, like,
nice home run?
Like, I stream for a living, so, like, it's a common question when you meet somebody new. What do you do for a living? And I say, well, I play video games online. And the most common response I get to that, I hear this more than anything else, is, oh, you mean, like, Fortnite?
Yeah, there we go.
It's very distressing.
Tesla Coil's got it.
Alright, Meekan does find his flippers.
Edium getting the shrooms. He's not gonna check that. I think he's gonna go straight to Misery Mire.
I mean, if he's going to do any out-of-the-way checks, I think the mushroom's pretty likely because he can work it in with getting potions, which, you know, you're more likely to want to buy if you're on Master Sword.
Yeah, safety potions are really good, especially with 4 bottles. I don't think he's going to buy 4 bottles with potions, though. Probably just 2 blues.
So I believe PKR is now in go mode. Opting to start with Turtle Rock.
Candace Mario is in Paradox.
She did Paradox, right? Yeah, she has big.
Oh no, it was in Hookshot.
She did all those mountain checks in that one area.
Is she doing Turtle Rock?
Yeah, she's gonna start with TR.
I mean, that's a call.
I mean, there's just it's a very small difference since you're already on the mountain. Like saving Turtle Rock for last makes a lot more sense when you're not on the mountain already.
I think she's gonna Turtle Rock Hera and then do the rest of them.
Well, not Hera, but yeah.
Oh, she hasn't done Hera yet.
No, it's a pendant.
Oh, right.
But essentially, yeah, she's gonna do these mountain dungeons that she needs to do, and then
I was so confused because Ravis went and did Hera.
For reasons. Unfortunately, so Ravis, he's still in this really bad spot. He went through swamp here, and he finds the hookshot, awesome, and he finds the flute, awesome. But unfortunately, they don't do anything without the mitts. So he continues back into left side, which had 2 items, and he gets bombos, but again, does nothing without the mitts. He's got to go look elsewhere.
Someone in chat brings up a great point. At least without mitts, he can't do Ice Palace.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too troublesome for him when he does find the mitts to just go to the mountain and get his go mode. It's just really unfortunate how long it's going to take him to get there.
Now, imagine a world in which Ganon's tower has the big key on the lamp. Beacon Y. Beacon Y, I was joking, don't do it, no! He went into Ice Palace.
Yeah, and I do not blame him. Not even like a little bit do I blame him for this play, because what he needs to do is go to Swamp, but that sucks so hard without the hookshot. So it's a very unfortunate item location for the hookshot to be in there. That's why it was such a big deal when PKR went in there.
See, you're very anti-Swamp. I'm very pro-Swamp.
Going into Swamp without the hookshot is less efficient like 99% of the time. So that's why it was such a big deal that PKR went in there, because most people were not going to do that. So finding the hookshot in there puts you in like a very big lead.
Boots could be in desert. That'd be funny.
PKR making it to the back of TR here. She did skip out on the big chest. Very unlikely to punish, but there is a very small possibility that the small keys line up exactly right to punish you for that play.
So with that room she just went through, is it oh wait, she doesn't have boots. I'm just thinking. I was like, is it faster to bomb or is it faster to boots? And it's like, it's faster to boots.
Yeah, it's definitely faster than boots. She just doesn't have the option. Eddie, I'm spooking it up here in Meyer.
Don't mind me, I don't look at these before I say them. Eddie, I'm making quick work. And Argus, did she already find the big key? She already found the big key.
PKR?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had to. You can't be in the back without it.
Oh.
There's multiple big key doors in the dungeon. Eddie M finishes up Meyer. He's got one to go. That one that PKR is finishing up right now.
Quickly, too. very clean first phase on Tri-X.
I'm not even going to bother turning in that mushroom, despite going for potions.
And Pink Kitty Rose has killed Tri-X with the L. So, that's a thing. So, has Meekin found anything interesting in Ice Palace?
Unfortunately, the only interesting thing he might find is the boots. We know where all the other good things are.
Oh, and he's trying to bomb jump over here. Can you?
Yeah, you absolutely can. He's actually doing a more difficult setup than he needs to, though. So there's certain things in the game that like if you're an old school player, you learn like the setup, and then later somebody found a better setup, but all the old school players don't bother learning it because they're already consistent at the old one.
Hey, it's a boomerang.
And definitely an older.
And Meekin bails.
Yeah, he might have found all 3 items.
And he's the only one who doesn't have the flute. Where was that again?
It's in the back of Swamp. Yeah, Ravis would be in the exact same situation as Meekin had he not just skipped that one chest. I think Meekin's probably run out of locations, though. Looks like he's headed over to Swamp now.
Yeah. So between Ravis and Meekin, who do you think's gonna finish first?
Meekin.
You think Meekin? Because Titan hits?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it sucks. It sucks for Ravis, but like that's one of the worst things to last location. Because even when Ravis gets the mitts, now everything else just opened up all at once, right?
I think by the time he finally gets the mitts, he's going to... Wait. Did he not check Hookshot here? Oh no, he didn't have Hookshot at the time in Death Mountain, did he?
Who?
Ravis.
Ravis. Oh, he doesn't have mitts, he can't get to Hookshot yet.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So like when Ravis finds the mitts, he's like, okay, I finally found the mitts, but I'm still like, 2 to 4 items from Go mode, and the entire world just opened up. Like likely he'll go to the mountain first, but he doesn't have to. Like it could very easily derail him into putting off the mountain for a long time.
Ravis with an accidental grab. And there's Meekin's hookshot. Now let's hope they full clear.
Oh, Meekin?
Yeah.
No, we want him to go straight to the back. Because Bombos was the only thing on left side, which we don't need. So, like, Meekin's ideal route here is to go to the back, get the flute, and then immediately go activate it, go to the mountain, find his Cane of Samaria.
And of course, kill...
and then let's go mode.
Kill Argus.
I think what he will probably do, I think that's a pretty likely thing that he'll do, but he does have other options. And, like, going to the mountain just for Hookshot Cave feels a little unfortunate.
Oh, Ravis.
Ravis! Bring it a magic.
No! I mean, does this save it? No.
I think he had just enough magic where if he had waited out for the torches to go out, he could have done, like, the 4 lamp strat. But it's just easier to come back.
Yeah, I remember, like, some of these had magic in them, but I never remember which ones.
Yeah, if you just go around the edge of the room picking up all the pots, you'll find 2 small magics and 2 hearts.
Ravis not taking any chances this time. Going for silvers. And the lamp. He was burned too bad before.
Yeah, Edium has a very clear lead right now.
Oh
like,
yeah,
PKR's she's not too far behind. Like she's about to fight Arbitrius, and then Skullwoods is a relatively fast dungeon to go through. But then she also has one extra climb up the mountain that Edium already did. It'll be close enough where like the routing through Ganon's Tower might make a difference. But Edium definitely has the advantage.
I personally think that Edium would have to take a death inside Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, it really depends. Like if Edium, if it's Tower and Big Key or something, and Edium 22s it and PKR does it third, like that would be enough, I think, for her to come out ahead. But it could also be boots on the torch. You know, that's still a possibility, and definitely a way that any runner could end up taking it, depending on where these boots are. But again, very unlikely.
We never checked pedestal. Could boots be on pedestal?
If desert is not boots locked, yes. Although we're not going to find out if desert's boots locked or not. We'll get the torch information before we ever see desert.
Yeah.
At least we should. You might see Mikan or Ravis go in there, I guess, instead of going to the mountain looking for Canis Maria.
Edium just going straight into Trinex. Where would be the worst place for boots to be?
Ped.
Ped?
Yeah, I was gonna say Ice Palace, but I think we already saw the items out of there.
Yeah, I think so. Mimic Cave? That would be pretty true.
Oh yeah, no, Mimic Cave would be the worst. I take it back. Mimic Cave is the worst, because everybody's gonna skip Mimic Cave.
Edium, be careful.
Oh, missing shots is not ideal here.
Uh-oh.
The Master Sword does not do very much damage. He does have potions. He's fine.
Someone's saying big key chest would be worst. But then you wouldn't get them. I'm saying this assuming the big key is on the torch.
Maybe they mean in Turtle Rock.
Maybe.
Both PKR and Edium skip the big key chest in Turtle Rock. I didn't manage to check their menus to see if they had items left in Turtle Rock, though.
They might.
So PKR and Edium picking up their 7th crystal simultaneously, but PKR has a whole climb of the mountain to do. So it's going to end up being about a 90-second difference between them.
And that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, so we are headed into Ganon's Tower. There are 22 locations that can contain the big key that they're looking for. If you'd like to guess 1 through 22, do so now. We will follow Edium's count, even if PKR finds it first.
You know where mine is.
I mean, you were guessing pedestal before they got their second item in the escape, so I'm thinking tower is what you want?
I want the big key to be on the torch.
Okay. Yeah, it's about as trolly. Edium going to the Hope Room first, where he finds a small key. Going to continue on to the right side. If you were going to go to the right side, why did you do the chest in that order? Okay. Come on, Edium.
I noticed Edium skipped another check that could be really troll.
Yeah, it's pretty standard to not do tile room, though. Like, it's the bigger gamble to do tile room than to skip it. Okay, he's losing a ton of time with these Gyptos. Oh, Edium.
Edium, you have silvers.
And Edium immediately finds the big key in Compass Room and the boots right next to it.
Man, both of my hopes dashed in single.
And PKR is going the Hope route where she gets just the Hope chest and then continues on to the left side. So that 90 seconds is going to expand.
Yep.
There is still the sword differential. PKR will save some time climbing the gauntlet and on the Ganon fight.
There is also a small chance that Edium might take a death, though with the potions that's less likely.
Yeah, Edium's a pretty practiced player. I can't imagine him dying, but you know, it's happened once already. Like, it could happen again.
I mean, there was Thieves Down.
Yeah, that's the ones. But like I said before, I think the Thieves Town death was out of character for Edium. You know? Like, I didn't expect him to die there. If he's gonna die, though, this is the room to do it in. Going for the safety room here. The refill room. I don't know how many potions he has. He could have just drank a potion.
I believe he has one more.
Yeah, probably would have saved that for the Ganon fight then.
I'm hoping he has one more.
Yeah, it's funny that PKR is doing this particular route because a very popular route that you see some runners do is called the Pink Magician route, named for Pink Kitty Rose. And that route would have ended up being better than the one she's taking. But, you know, it's all random. Like, the big key has an equal chance being in any single chest.
I think for the race room, it'd be interesting to have those tile switches randomized. If that's possible.
What, you mean the teleporter tiles?
Well, that too would be funny. But I was talking about the switches in the rando room.
Oh, gosh. I think if you go on the Rando Discord and suggest that, there will be a very interesting discussion on the word interesting. Do you also play with pot shuffle every season?
That would be fun.
PK Rose, without the boots, has to do a bomb jump to get over to this spot here.
I mean,
sometimes the enemies can be a little disagreeable. Like that. I think this bomb jump's a lot like going through Bumper Cave without the hookshot, like where you sneak over the top of the pit. And the common advice you hear when people are having trouble with that is to act like you've done it before. If you just pretend like you can't fall, you probably won't fall. And this room is very similar.
She just says, screw it, and does.
Yeah, just goes the vanilla route.
She was so close a couple times, too.
Yeah, it's the enemies making you nervous is what makes you mess up that bomb jump. So if you just pretend the enemies aren't there, it ends up freaking out usually.
Taking his time, grabbing the chests.
Yeah, like those chests don't take very long to check, and if he finds a sword there, like that's a time save for sure.
Half magic would probably be really good for him too.
Like we probably won't see PKR checking those chests because she already has that tempered sword.
Oh, I did not realize you could fake powder that.
Yeah, bunny beams and anti-fairies can both be powdered, and fake powder works just as well as regular powder.
I'm worried for Edium because okay, no longer worried because that would have been a really awkward fall.
Oh, he's super fine. PKR ended up taking the worst possible route for the big key, and Edium had the best possible route for the big key.
Yeah. I think the only chance Pink Kitty Rose has is a fall in Ganon. Which is honestly pretty likely. Like, well, it's more likely than a flat-out death, I think.
Edium's really good at the game. I don't think either is likely.
I mean, it's possible to misjudge some of the,
Yeah, anyone's capable of mistakes. It's just, like, at a certain point, you... Like the runners get so good, right, that the mistakes are the weird thing, you know?
And with a clean... okay. Mostly clean Aghanim. Too.
I was almost running out of magic in that room. Close.
Ravis is deep diving so hard. I don't know what he's looking for now. Where was the big key in here?
He's just looking for the big key, I think.
Yeah, I completely spaced on Meyer.
Right, so it is 12 spins for the first and second phase for Edium here. These are this is the hardest part of the game to fight with Master Sword, is this first and second phase. Both in how quickly you do it and also how much damage Ganon does. And the longer Ganon stays alive, the more opportunities he has to kill you.
Can we talk about the fact that the Sword of Evil's Bane, the Master Sword, can't even directly hit Ganon? Like, you can't just slash at him.
Well, that just goes to... That's just a statement on the Ganon in Link to the Past power, right? But like every other Zelda game, the Master Sword's good enough for Ganon. But in this game, Ganon is so OP. He actually has all three pieces of the Triforce. He's in complete control. He needs a little bit of extra power to be able to hit him. That's why Link to the Past Link is the best Link.
I want to say Twilight Princess Link.
With the wolf form or without?
With the wolf form.
He's pretty good in wolf form. When he does that, when he kills the shadow beasts or whatever.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Oh, ooh, Edium.
He gets it into phase 3 though. He should be fine from here on out, as long as he doesn't make any
unless
quick errors.
Ganon gets a really unlucky hug.
Well, the Ganon fight's it's like the one part of the game that you do every single time, right? So this is the part of the game that Edium has the most practice on. He even gets the torch glitch there. Very nice. Didn't need it for sure, but helpful. It looks close, but it wasn't really close.
It did look close.
He was fine. And down goes Ganon.
That's a pretty respectable time. Meanwhile, Pink Kitty Rose is finished with her ascent. She's going into the Aghanim 2 fight.
So Edium takes first on the restream. GG's to him. And first overall with the time of 1:23:39.
Excellent.
See if we can get him in for an interview.
Oh, he's really interested in them stats. It was just pocket change on the pedestal. So sad. Couldn't even be the cape. .123 collection rate. That's really good.
Yeah, very low.
Meekin is going into Meyer. Let's hope they don't check as thoroughly through it as Ravis.
And we are joined by Edium in the voice chat. GG.
Hey.
So I just have one question for you, Edium.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I mean, it just felt like a play.
It worked out, but jeez, dude.
I wouldn't know exactly what he's talking about.
I mean, if I had already done South Shore, like before I went into the Dark World, I never would have done that. But you know, since I had already opened the dam, it made a lot of sense to just go in, make a little gamble.
How far would you have gone if like you?
Oh, I would have.
Would you have done a whole?
I would have done left side, yeah.
It was such a surprising play. Maybe less so because we already saw PKR did it. She made that same play you did, but earlier.
Oh wow.
I expected a little more from her.
I'm surprised. So I wasn't sure if I'd be like the only one to make that play, but I guess something else must have set her back a little bit.
PKR finishes second on the restream and second overall with a time of 1:26.26. Yeah, she just played a bit more thoroughly than you did. Like she did left side.
Yeah. And
then did pod before going up the mountain.
Yeah, I was hoping to go mode pod, which kind of worked out because I was able to skip a couple of rooms.
See if we can get PKR in for an interview as well.
Ravis is finally in Turtle Rack. Meekin found the key to Swamp. That's excellent.
But yeah, as expected, everybody else put off that Swamp dive for a long time, so it was definitely a huge difference maker in the race.
Did Meekin not kill Argus?
I have no idea. I'm sure he did. Why wouldn't he? He must have, right?
He has hook shot.
The main problem, like Ravis ended up going to Swamp earlier than Meekin, but it was not so much on the back of God visioning it like you and PKR did, and more on the back of he skipped the mitts in Eastern, so he ran out of places to go.
Oh. Yeah, I figured those mitts might have tripped someone up because that's a common gamble.
Yeah, it's pretty common skip.
I think this is the first like large daily race I've ever won. Like larger than 10 people. Had quite a few seconds, but I don't think I've ever had a first.
And we are now joined by Pink Kitty Rose. GG.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, congrats, Edium.
Thanks.
So tell us about the Swamp dive. You got to tell us about the Swamp dive because that,
yes,
like from our perspective, that was like, wow, you know.
More so him than me.
Oh yeah, so
hey, it's a big race, so I might as well do something stupid.
Drake seems to be under the impression that going into Swamp without the hookshot is a perfectly normal play that everyone's going to do, and I try to explain, and he thinks that I'm being upset about it.
No,
I adjusted and baffled.
See, did you do South Shore before you went to the Dark World, PK?
Yeah, I had mitts and a hammer when I went to the Dark World, so I just...
Oh,
It's like I did Thieves Town, got my mirror, started doing South Loop, got my tempered and flippers, and I'm just like, I just handed in the purple chest, I'm down here, let's just go.
see, for me, I went to the Dark World before South Shore, so I had got the mirror, which is exactly what I was hoping for, and so I was like doing my South Shore checks. I'm like, I already have the dam open, I might as well just pop in here.
And Ravis with a death in Turtle Rock.
Oh,
Yeah, a little unfortunate there. He had a little execution error and was got caught by that spike earlier. He starts pretty near.
I specifically don't like to do compass room when I don't have the boots. So naturally, the big key and the boots were there.
It's weird because there's a GT route that we call Pink Magician because of you, but you didn't do that route today.
Because I didn't have the boots. I don't like doing it without the boots.
Yeah, just a little unfortunate. You were behind entering GT already, and that just expanded it. Although Edium was on Master Sword, so if you had gone straight to Compass Room, maybe you were taking him.
oh, where was the other sword?
Smith Sequence and Graveyard Ledge.
Okay, I was never going to those places.
Oh my goodness, yeah, since I already had pits when I was in Village of Outcasts, I ended up getting that. And yeah, I also did a little too much overworld after I was done in Swamp. I could have just went to set on my flute and whatnot, but I just got I had the flippers and everything. I just wanted to finish the loop. Unfortunately, it had nothing. Also, feel thankful you could get away with skipping left side Swamp because Bombos was there.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, if Bombos was required for one of those dungeons, you would have won by like 15 minutes or something.
Oh god,
Like I can't imagine Edium going back to Swamp at any point.
Oh no, that would have been pretty much a last location.
I looked at it as, well, I just avoided getting screwed by Swamp like most people in this race are going to, so let's just make sure we don't also get screwed by Swamp for a different reason.
Yeah, pretty reasonable. And it was 2 items, if I remember right. Bombos and a Piece of Heart. So, like, yeah, pretty reasonable to go back into there, even when
Imagine
you're
having HP
so
in the first
close.
half hour of this seed.
Oh, yeah, very dangerous. Edium, actually, you took a death, didn't you, on Blind?
I'm blind, yeah, because I went in there on 4 hearts and green mail. I was like, I just got the mirror, so I'm feeling pretty good about this, so it doesn't seem like that big a deal. It's only, you know, as long as there's nothing on blind, it wasn't that big a deal, just a minute or so time loss.
I said it several times throughout the run, but you're definitely a quality of player where the death is the least likely thing to have happened, right? Like, I don't expect Edium to die in any room in this game.
Yeah, I mean, 4
So very
hearts.
surprising.
4 hearts. Yeah, I just messed up the script. That was all. You know, 4 hearts is fine if I get the script, but when I mess it up.
What was that thing? I was going to make fun of you for something. Can't remember. Hope Room in GT. If you're of the mind that you're going to go to Compass Room if you find a small key, do the right chest first. It's the smallest possible time save, but it's free. Come on, buddy.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious how many people actually don't do that. I've been watching some of the tournament races, and I swear it feels like half the runners do left and right instead of right to left.
I mean, if you just get a mirror or whatever, then it doesn't matter. But if you're gonna go to Compass Room, man,
I'll keep that in mind next time.
okay.
If you go right to left and then mirror, though, you can totally like pump about 2 or 3 times.
There you go. Just gotta think, you do so few things wrong, Edium, that's the only thing I could find to make fun of you for. So take it as a compliment.
I do lots of things wrong. Just this race went pretty well though, other than that one death.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Eddie, you were super overdue, so congratulations.
GG.
I feel like I just clouded up and it worked out, so yeah! Oh. I wonder how far we're going to be ahead of everybody else, because it feels like it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Meekin is checking the rando room right now, and Ravis is going into GT. So
Yeah, they both They both ended up putting off hookshot for a long time, as expected. But then Ravis further got punished by trying to skip a vanilla big key in Eastern Palace, which was the mitts.
I suspect it's probably going to be at least a good 20 minutes. Maybe.
Not quite that much, but it should be. It should be a significant amount of time.
Swamp Palace spawned way too much because the flute was there and the book was behind the hookshot.
Yeah.
So nobody was going to go into deserts. The worst you could do was Hera and Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ravis did Hera and Mikan did Ice.
I think Mikan also did Hera.
Did he? He didn't kill the boss.
And
someone else did Hera.
Some people are going to be resistant to ice as well, since both the Kate of Samaria and the hookshot is heavily involved with the logic for the keys in Ice Palace, so it makes it look a lot less appealing.
Yeah. Okay, Mikan's having just as much trouble as you did on this bomb jump to get to Bob's chest.
I was so confused by that. I've never seen it do that before, where it just launched me almost straight down.
So what might have happened for you is you had the bomb trajectory bug.
I guess
that affects Terrapot.
Yeah, that must have been what it was.
Probably.
I've never seen it do that before.
Yeah. So for those who aren't aware, if you catch an item that's dropped by an enemy while it's still in the air, it changes some value in the game that makes your bombs send you in weird directions.
Right, I normally don't have to kill the enemies in that room because I normally have either boots or I'm playing a mode where I'm allowed to use quick swap and I've just hookshotted the things.
I've gotten in the habit when I have to do that room without boots is I just walk around them because hardhead beetles are pretty easy to manipulate like that.
That is definitely the first time I've had that bug turn up in that room. That is
gotta be pretty uncommon.
I can't remember the last time I've done that bridge the vanilla way.
And I'd have to get out the Easter if I had to do that.
I mean, you just shoot a fire rod on the left side and it lights
the
whole thing up.
Yeah,
she lit the torch and then hookshotted back over.
Oh.
I'm just like, what is this nonsense? What's going on? Why isn't this working? It always works!
Alright, Ravis Deathwarp back to the entrance, and Mikan's gonna get their big key now. They're both doing the ascent.
Yeah, they should end up finishing pretty close to each other. They're both on Buttersword Silvers. Alright, we'll see PKR. GG's again.
Thanks,
yeah, GG's.
Congrats again, Enium.
Thank you. GG's. Yeah, I'm gonna
I still think you're both crazy, but
we are.
Well,
whatever.
You have to be.
So you win bigger races. You have to go nuts.
You have to be a little crazy to play this game as much as we do.
For sure. I don't play it enough. I should play more.
All right. Well, thanks for the commentary and thanks to the trackers.
All right, GG's Edium.
Yeah, I'm gonna step out. Later.
So we should have a fairly close race between these two. I can't imagine Mikan coming out ahead here with Ravis, but if he's doing the safety room, maybe this is going to be a lot closer than it was 10 seconds ago. Every second counts.
I think Ravis is just taking a lot of hits that Mikan isn't. Although Mikan's at 2 hearts, so I could be completely wrong.
Mikan switches to bomb. Looks like he's going to do the safety room as well. That's so weird to see so many safety rooms. Yeah, 3 of our 4 top runners. Or 4 restream runners taking that safety door.
And Ravis with a map check by accident.
It was tactical, for sure.
Absolutely.
The map buffer. Pretty clean gauntlet there from Ravis, making his way to Landmo.
Yeah, for these I usually just use one of the medallions, because I get frustrated chasing them around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did the exact same thing for like the first 6 months I played this game.
I don't think Ether Medallion wastes too much time, comparably.
Yeah, either in the Stalfos rooms.
Meekin is right behind Ravis. I think a fallen Moldrum would probably do it.
Yeah, definitely would make up a difference here. Although, you know, just like with Eddie and before, you don't expect them to make mistakes like that. But Moldorm can troll even the best of runners.
Yeah.
Another tactical map check from Ravis.
That is so awkward. I bet he's probably getting antsy. He's already seen people starting to I'm blinking on it. He's already started seeing people finish.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow, I don't know how, but Meekin caught up. Probably a better torch room, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he should take the lead here if he doesn't go for the fake powder, which he does not, while Ravis does. And unfortunately, he messes it up by switching to bombs. There you go. Third time's the charm. Oh my gosh.
He is having some problems.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing wrong here. Do it one more time. You can do it.
I don't think he's going to try it.
So the glitch he's going there for, guys, is called fake powder. It's a manipulation of the way the game recognizes what item you're using. And because the powder and the mushroom are using like the same slot, if we trick the game enough, we can use the powder when we have the mushroom equipped. So you just use some Mario while you have no magic to use it, and then immediately open the menu and switch to mushroom, and it will cast the powder for you.
And Meekin is done with Aga too. Meanwhile, Ravis going pretty well with Moldrum. No trolls. I think everyone had a pretty clean Moldrum too.
And here's Ganon.
Ooh. Did that count as a triple?
It looked like it might have, but probably just a double.
Yeah, the timing on this can be kind of weird.
Yeah, if two shots hit too close to each other, then Aga just doesn't care, and he thinks it's just one.
I guess it did count as a triple.
Well, there you go.
It hit just far enough apart.
Meekin with his butter sword gets through the first couple phases very, very quickly.
Very cleanly, too. Ravis is going to have to play pretty carefully unless he goes and grabs the safety. Nope, no safety. He's just going for it.
Yeah, with tempered silver is like he should be fine. Like worst case scenario is he has to play it a little safe in phase 2. Looks like he's going for the 1-1 here. Got a good position for it to get some slashes in. There it is, phase 2. Oh, he steps right into a fire bat.
Meanwhile, Meekin with a very clean fight. Double arrow and 2 singles. Only had to relight the torch once.
That'll do it. And just like that, Meekin crosses the bridge and takes 3rd place on our restream. 8th place overall with a time of 1:43.32.
I don't think Ravis is going to take very long, now that he's got better health.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine now. Gets the 1 cycle for phase 1. Getting the 1 cycle for phase 2 here is very difficult, but it looks like he's going to make it. Ooh. Like 1 more hit. That'll do it.
Oh,
it takes another bat.
I think this is nerves.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's a little frustrated with the way the seed played out.
Yeah.
Ravis plays a lot of races, so
I mean,
he'll shake it off real quick.
First the Eastern, then like he took way too long to double check his stuff. Then he cleared Hera. It's just a lot of misplays. But he's going into phase 3.
Yeah, very clean 1-1 there again.
Yeah. You're just hoping he doesn't fall.
He's got subways, he'll be fine.
I hope so.
Double there. Doesn't get the torch glitch, but who needs it? And that'll do it for Ravis.
Double. It's a GG for all our runners.
Ravis takes 4th place on the restream, good for 10th place overall with a time of 1:45:30.
Meekin looks like they're going to be joining us. I think. Yep.
Hey Meekan, welcome to the voice chat. GG.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry you guys had to sit here waiting 20 minutes for me to finish.
Don't worry, you were not the only person who didn't go into swamp immediately.
This seed was free AF if you started your journey in Thievestown. Not kidding. The entire thing was absolutely free. You just walked around.
even if you go to Thievestown first, it's not like you always go right into swamp though, right?
If I had just gotten the flippers off that ledge, I absolutely would have. 100%.
See, it's not that crazy a check.
It is crazy.
This has been a point of contention.
Everything, dude. You would have finished Swamp Palace. You would have... Okay, well, I can go do Pod right now. Let's go do that. And Eastern, if you hadn't done that already. And then,
as well.
Boy, oh boy, I've got everything to go clear the entire mountain. Well, there's the rest of my crap.
Speaking of Eastern, hi, Ravis.
Hey guys, GG Mikan.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Ravis ended up skipping the mitts in Eastern Palace, which was it was such a reasonable play to make, but really came back to bite you this seed.
And
The
then
one-
that bomb was on left side swamp is not even required.
Yeah. I mean, the one plus out of putting off the mitts for so long was that it was easier for you to make the call to go into swamp.
Well,
Just by virtue of
it started earlier, basically. Oh crap, I forgot to check the shovel, and then I was so distracted by that thought that I forgot that I didn't have a key after the bomb jump, and yeah, I don't know, everything went the wrong way, and well...
Everything went pear-shaped.
Yeah, I mean it's everybody, every racer knows that there's these phases where you can do everything you want to do. You're gonna do everything, and that's right now for me. Everybody's gonna go through that phase, but whatever.
Yeah, it happens to absolutely everybody. But then on the other hand, sometimes you just make all the right decisions, like PKR and EDM did today.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe that's you tomorrow, right?
I hope so. The recent days weren't like that. I mean, I had that double daily win I think a week ago or something, and since then everything went down the road. So maybe that's the price I'm paying.
So we were talking with Meekan just a second ago about how if you start in Thievestown, it becomes a much easier seed.
Yeah.
Free one would say. As in, it doesn't cost you anything.
So
I really wanted to have the mirror for Pod and Eastern.
So I was disagreeing with Meekan because I don't think that if you start in Thievestown, that going into Swamp when you could go into Pod is as easy a call. But that may just be my personal feelings on it. I was curious what you thought, Ravis.
Definitely a hard call for sure. In daily races, it's maybe not that hard of a call, but still not easy.
Yeah.
But I agree doing Pod and Eastern, and it's I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like I fake flippered at the start, and I was like, dude, these flippers haven't like done anything yet, so it's probably ice or swamp. And since this was pen and ice, I probably would have done swamp anyway before ice. So I don't know,
So
but it would have
you
helped
actually
routing wise.
you actually put off Eastern for quite a long time before you went there that first time. What
Yeah.
was the reasoning behind that?
So first of all, I hope to find
Mirror
Mirror
Pod.
on the way. Yeah, or like I mean, Hype Cave was nothing. I think Mini Modern Cave was nothing. Paradox Cave had just the fire rod, so all the big locations basically had nothing.
Anyone room had gloves.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Gloves. Yay, one thing.
Having
But
having every Dark World access before actually going to the Dark World is really weird.
Yeah, it can make for some very uncomfortable seats, definitely.
well, I was aiming for the green pendant later. Then when I found nothing in port, basically I was like, all right, Bo hasn't unlocked anything yet, so probably an item on Armor's right. Well, it doesn't need to be, obviously, but I thought, all right, try to find the mirror or the hookshot, get your green pendant, and hope for the best. And that's why I put off Eastern. And then in Eastern, I thought, all right, I made a lot of wrong calls. I might play a little bit aggressive, and the only thing I skip in the hold seed bites my butt in the end.
I will never understand skipping Eastern Big Key Chest to go straight to Armos.
Well, first of all, you have a 50-50 chance, and what are the chances that if there is an item, that it is an important item? Well, I say that
100%.
now. Well, yeah, in this case for sure.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to like how you route overall. Like I know a lot of players who skip checks, but only in a situation where they know they're going to come back to it later. You know, like if you can't imagine yourself ever coming back to this location, then they don't skip it. And then other runners, if it's even slightly out of the way, they just skip it and just hope it doesn't burn them. And you know, sometimes they just win by 10 minutes because of stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if someone asks me why do you skip one item in Eastern but you do full left side swamp, then I gotta say, well, the time I was in Eastern, I had way more locations open and I didn't look for too much. And the time I was in Swamp, I really had only bad locations left for my mids, so I was kind of forced to do left side Swamp, and it even could have paid off if Bombos is required. Because I see a lot of people like finding the hookshot very late, and then seeing the flute and think like, all right, I'm probably in go mode, or you know, maybe like there's nothing else in here. Might just need Somaria. I think Somaria was hookshot locked, yeah, something like that. But I don't know.
I skip Eastern Big Key Chest in Eastern very, very rarely. It has to be like a very specific situation for me. Like if I have the fire rod but no lamp and I'm looking for very few locations and I have a lot of other stuff available, I could do it. But mostly I'm with you, Mikan. Don't skip that. That's crazy.
Don't do it.
I feel like I trusted the bow too much in that
Yeah.
case. Like there had to be something behind the bow. I saw the mushroom. I was like, all right, that's my way to go, right? Come on, game.
Dude, whenever I got the mushroom, I was so like preoccupied. How am I going to route this in? I have to turn this in. This has to have something.
See, that's
Just
what I thought
because
as
of the
well. And then I
situation.
had only one bow locked location left, and Anyway, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Seed wasn't fun for me, at least. Everything went down the road, specifically.
No, I think this is unequivocally a gross seed. Even if you make the right calls, it's still gross.
Yeah, I mean, death and Turtle Rock as well and stuff. I don't know. Like, I was surprised to find the big key very early on. I thought it's gonna be another 22 or something, but sometimes the seed says, "Okay, I bullied you."
Yeah, I don't know what happened with you with that fake powder at the top of the gauntlet.
I don't know, but
I imagine you were.
I was.
It was
done.
just frustration getting to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was simply done. I was like, all right, just finish the seed. Want to see where where you are in the league, and just finish that.
So speaking of the league, the league reveal is going to happen here in like 5 minutes or something. Are you guys in the league this year?
No.
Yeah, I am. Looks like some more bigger names made it, some didn't.
Well, I hope your league races go really, really well, Ravis.
Let's hope they're better than this one. I think that would be enough. It doesn't need to be too much better.
Pass off the weird settings to your team members.
Unfortunately, I can't do that. I got Kermit in my team, so
Oh no.
yeah. See, that's exactly what it should be like.
So for those in chat who don't know, there is another tournament starting. The reveal stream will be happening very soon on the Speed Gaming main channel, like in the next few minutes. Our head admin and creator of the league, Fear Agent, will be going over all of it personally, accompanied by Walter IV and Frostbite 3030. Join them in Twitch chat to find out who will be playing in each division and what modes they will be playing. That is on the Speed Gaming main channel. Definitely recommend heading over there as soon as we're done here. Speaking of, I think we're about done here. Do you guys have anything else to add before we close it out?
Dumb game. When can we start with the boots, please?
Every Friday.
Like Friday.
Every Friday.
Yeah, well, okay.
Both races on Friday. Open boots and casual boots.
So 1 day a week. Got it. Dang, that stinks.
Yeah, just thanks for commenting and stuff. And GG to
Yeah, our pleasure. Sorry I didn't go as well for you guys as I could have. It's just the way Rando goes sometimes. Big thanks to all 4 of our runners, though, Ravis and Mikan, but also Pink Kitty Rose and Edium, who were here earlier. Much thanks to them for putting on a show for us. We have something to do here in the afternoon. As well as our tracker today, Dark Diplomat and Red Aramer. Very much appreciated, guys. And my co-commentator of the day, Drake Tempest. Really appreciate you.
Yep, I appreciate you too. I hope everyone's runs go a little better than Ravis and Meekin's runs today.
Thanks.
May you always find boots early. I'm just gonna.
You're okay, dude.
I'm just gonna go.
Don't worry, fam.
I'm gonna go.
All right, guys, head over to Speed Gaming, twitch.tv/Speed Gaming for that league reveal stream. I'm going to be over there here in a second to watch it with you. Until next time, I've been Koi. With me, Drake Tempest. Have a good night, everybody.